His brothers have come from Jerusalem, and Nehemiah asks him one question with two implications, and his brother gives him one reply with three answers. He says, the people are greatly afflicted and reproached. The walls we started to build have been broken down, Nehemiah, and the gates have been burned as well, Nehemiah. Mind you, church family, that Nehemiah is actually doing a little bit better than his own Jewish brothers and sisters. He is the cupbearer for the king. But the land that they were in as a people, they were free to be a people, but still oppressed and marginalized. It's clear within the text that Nehemiah was concerned, even though he was in a better economical position than his Jewish brethren. But what I'm implying to us today is don't sit up here in church and act like you never looked down on somebody. Because you are in a better place than somebody else. Don't sit up here and act like you just helped everybody out that ever crossed your path. Don't act like you just got Jesus, Mother Teresa, and Princess Diana just running all through your blood like you ain't never looked down on nobody else. When you see people who are less fortunate, and you say things like, I just thank God that ain't me. When you see people who don't got their lives all together, you say, I just thank God that I'm not in that situation. When you see people who don't got all their houses and their families together, you just say, I just thank God I'm not like them. Then baby, you have looked down on somebody. Text says when they heard this, he cried for days, fasted for days, he mourned for days because of the condition of his own people. Listen, it's a sad indictment when you see your own people in distress and you care nothing about it. It's a sad indictment when you see your own family doing bad and you care nothing about your family members. Paul said it like this: each of us should not look at our own interests, but also in the interests of others. So Nehemiah prays a sincere prayer unto God. And I said sincere, I didn't say selfish prayer. He had a sincere prayer that he sent up to God, asking God for success and favor. When he goes before the king, asks permission to do what's in his heart and not what's laid upon his heart. I'm going to say that one more time. Some of us missed that. He asked God for success and favor when he goes before the king to ask him what's in his heart and not what's laid upon his heart. I'll break that down just a second here. See, oftentimes when we hear and see trouble and turmoil, injustice and oppression, we often sit around waiting on God to do something, waiting on God to lay something upon our heart so we can move, when God is simply waiting on you to simply stand up for what's right. For you to simply say, that's wrong, and need to do something right about it. You don't need God to tell you what's right. You need God to tell you what's wrong.
That's all right.
Y'all ain't get this. If you really knew the Lord, then you don't have to wait on him to move upon your heart, because he's already in your heart to do what's right in a wrong situation. God doesn't you're trying to do right. This might help somebody.
All right.
The main reason when you're trying to do right and build something up, that people will conspire against you. Oppressors don't like to see the oppressed overcome obstacles.
All right.
Because if the oppressed overcome the obstacles, then the oppressors think they might get overthrown. But that's the difference between the mindset of oppressed people and the oppressors. Oppressors think in terms of power, but oppressed people think in terms of privilege. Oh, y'all missing this. Oh, can I go back to the 60s and 70s where this is Black History Month, right, man? The reason they protest wasn't because they wanted power, but they wanted people to understand that I'm just as human as you are. I'm just a different color. We don't need the power. We just want equality and the same rights and privileges as the next man or woman walking right beside me. Oppressed people thinks in terms of privilege. Oppressors thinks in terms of power. Nehemiah thought, his thought process was, watch this, everybody else had an altar. Everybody else has a temple. Everybody else around us has an army. All the other nations were protected. All the other nations had a wall. Then why can't we have a wall as well?
All right.
It wasn't about black rights back in the day. It was about civil rights. The message was that I'm a free man and a free man and woman in this country. And I deserve the same educational privileges and opportunities as my brother and sister walking right beside me. I'm a free man and woman in this country. And I deserve the right same privileges, health care, as somebody else in this country. I'm free and I should be able to vote just like a man has the right to vote. I'm free and I should be able to live with all rights and privileges as anyone else in this country. My concept was that I'm free and I should be able, watch this now, to sit in the front of the bus and not only in the back of the